Welcome to the Punzi Grange. It's that time of year when we're getting ready to bring our plants back inside for the winter. These are particularly plants that are tender, maybe some of our house plants we brought outside to get some extra sun during the year. And for example, this is my prickly pear cactus, which is a tender perennial. Got it down at Luther Burbank's home, got a little piece off, so don't tell him. Rooted it, and look how big it is now. But it does well outdoors in California, but here it's a little tender and probably doesn't like all the moisture we get. So I'm going to be bringing this inside, making some room. And for this one, I'm going to look for insects, but usually these are pretty insect-free. What I'm going to take care of are these little spines. I'll probably go through, there's little tiny ones. Even though this was a cultivar Luther Burbank had bred to not have spines, it doesn't have the spines, but it still has these little tiny stipules. So I'm going to take those off with gloves and kind of break those off so it makes it easy to bring inside and so I won't get pinched. Now we're going to look at some plants, other plants I'm going to bring indoors that I like keeping inside. One of my favorite here is the scented geranium, also known as pelargoniums, and this has been out all summer. And probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready to bring it inside. I'm going to clean it up. We're going to take off some of the old blossoms. And then we're going to look and check and see if we have any insect problems. Let's see. No, we're not. It's looking pretty clean. And this is also a good time to prune it up a little bit because it may get a little extra growth. So I'm going to cut some sections back so that I have room for it when it goes inside. Here. So we'll clean it up a little bit. Now, even though I don't see any insects, I'm probably going to go ahead and give it a little squirt. And some of the things I'm going to use, probably for this, since I don't see any insects, I'm just going to give it some insecticidal soap that'll help coat any insects that I may not notice, any kind of aphids or small soft-bodied insects, since I don't see anything. So I'll probably use this. Now, if you actually find some insects and they're not soft-bodied insects, then you may want to go with Safer Yard and Garden. And you're going to want to do this about a week to 10 days before you're going to bring them back into the house. The soap doesn't have too much smell. This has a little bit of a smell, but not too bad. But it's a good idea to get a head start. So when you know the frost's coming out, count out about 10 days. Make sure that you're getting outside and spraying. Now, when I mix it up, I usually use a hand sprayer. Don't get out the big sprayers for this kind of stuff because we're usually dealing with small house plants. And when I'm spraying, you want to make sure that you get on the underside of the leaves because that's usually where the insects are going to hide. So basically I'll get in, I'll turn it over, and since it's insecticidal soap, I don't have to worry too much because it's derived from the same kind of soap that we use for our hands, except it's more pure so it doesn't cause any kind of problems with the plant. Sometimes you get a phytotoxic effect, which means it burns the plant. So we'll go through and we'll spray the underside of the leaves. What's neat about this pelargonium is that it blooms all year. I don't think it's stopped. It bloomed all summer, it bloomed all winter last winter. Another way you can do it rather than doing it by hand is you can just, since it's in a pot, you can just kind of tilt it over like this. And that's the fast way to get to the underside of the leaves. And you can just rotate it around and you can get them all the coverage you need on the underside and get a little on the top. Some other plants that I brought outside for the summer were these, Amaryllis. Now these are a special fragrant type that I really enjoy. This one just gave me a surprise. Usually they don't rebloom, but this one, out of 6, decided to rebloom before I brought it inside. So it's a special treat. Now, I'm going to check the bulb size is nice. Part of the reason is that I want to get the bulb size big and get a lot of energy into these. When I bring them inside, except for this one, I'm going to let them dry out and then start them again so that they can go through their dormant period since they spent all summer growing. So hopefully you'll have good luck with all your houseplants. Bring them inside, and this was very helpful for you. Until next time, this is Peter Punzi. Live long and garden.